Welcome everyone, this is DragonInWhite and we are playing Final Fantasy XIV after I think 2 weeks or so. It's been quite a while. I've been a little busy and trying out other games as well, and haven't gotten to play the game which I've been paying monthly for. So time to get back to it. In the meanwhile, in between streams, I've been still having crashing problems, but I think I solved it this time, hopefully. So basically what I done is pulled out a RAM chip. So this RAM chip, basically what happened was there are errors with this one. It's not 100% reliable, and yeah, I figured that it's oops, yeah, it's just time, just pull it out and see how much more reliable it would be. Am I being too faint on this? Let me just check this thing. 80%. Maybe I should just make it 90%. 5. Yeah, you know what? I think 80 is good. Hang on. Filters. Filter there. Okay, so yeah, sorry, pardon that. In any case, let us start off the fisherman quest. Gonna do something a little more chill today, cause it's been a while and just want to get back into the thing and feel a bit chill with this. So let's start with fisherman quests. We have been neglecting these quests for quite a while. Okay. The catfish you fetched for Langsat has raised quite a stir. He was so pleased with your quality and quickness of the delivery that he's been raving about you to anyone in earshot. And now the word swirling around Limsa of a fabled fisherman has reached the ears of your fellow guildmate. Though most of them have no idea who you are, it doesn't stop the lazy sunbathers from fabricating folk stories about you. Meanwhile, Chuchurun's done his part to add to your fame, singing your praises well beyond the walls of the guild. So well beyond the walls, in fact, that goblins have come to enlist your help. Okay, that's interesting. Tix is a friend of Chuchurun, so we are somewhat obligated to hear him out. Though I don't expect him to be much more intelligible, yeah. Loath though I am to admit it, we most likely need Wawa Lago again. Okay, we're gonna get to this dude. Chuchurun told many glory tales of mighty Fishbringer to Toctix. Toctix is friend, Chuchurun is friend. Fishbringer is friendly friend, yes? Moon was shining on Easter seas of La Nostria when most lovely fish appeared. Toctix wonder if friendly friend Fishbringer can bring back lovely fish from Moonsea. Woo, that was mind-boggling. Speak with Wawalago. I think I can decipher that. Go to La Nostria and fish this particular fish out there. Come on, talk to him. Ah, done it. I lost connection again. What's wrong with the internet today? Well, strangest things happens today. Just gotta wait here again. Let me just message a couple of people just to be sure about this. Okay, so well, let's continue on what I had earlier. So aside from changing out the RAM, which was a bit of a problem, what I did was also I changed out some cables, like my headphone cables. These are new ones because I've been having some connection problems with them. And same with this microphone one. Previously, I just jiggle this about and I'll lose connection. And now I don't. I can see, I can touch this with no problem. So it's good to have everything new. And yep, that is that. And come on, let me in, let me in. Alright, good. I am in now. Okay, so back to which way? There. So a goblin gets a glimpse of some guilds and I'm to guess the game? Haha, naturally I know what you need to net. I'm only surprised you saw fit to solicit my support the moment you mentioned the moon on the eastern seas of Lanosia. I figured the frisky fish we are fixing to fetch. Well, it's probably a moonfish or something from Lanosia. Eastern Lanosia. Full moon sardines! Schools of striplings migrate under moonlight through the straits of Myrtle to return to their mothers or meet their makers. Tastiest time to take them too. Pluck them plumb in their prime. From dusk to dawn, dove deeps and dive down bloodshore. Spinning spoon worms in the water will snag you some sardines and sate your sponsors. Okay, spinning spoon worms. Do I have that? Spinning spoon worms? I believe I actually done spinning spoon worms. Okay, so I gotta get some of that then. Okay, it says the Hawker's Alley. This is the one. Purchase items. Oops. Purchase items. Spinning spoon worm. Spoon worm. Get 50. Get a bunch anyway. Wait, where do I go for this? Bloodshore. A fish that can only be caught after sunset. Go along Bloodshore and deliver them to Toktex. Okay, Bloodshore. Actually, I got an idea. Full moon sardine. Why do I have to catch them myself? I don't, right? Let's see how much they cost. Ew. No. Too much. Sorry. Going fishing for those. Full moon sardines. Okay, let me check the internet for this. Let's see, FF14, full moon sardine. I gotta wait until sunset anyway, but let's see. Eastern Lanosia. Then let's see, South Blood Shore. Welcome back everyone, this is DragonInWhite, and for those of you on YouTube, this must be strange that I'm doing this intro again. The previous recording I recorded about 10 minutes of footage and like spent half an hour having internet issues while trying to fish, and yeah, that's kind of messy. In any case, today I'm playing around with some new audio settings. Basically, I bumped up my volume. I realized that I'm actually not utilizing the YouTube/Twitch volume, well, standards per se, and I'm like 14 dB below what is 0 there. So I figured I bump my my volume up by another 10 dB, and although it seems a little high, I'm going to experiment a little later and probably lower the dB slightly, but you know, all this should work pretty well. In any case, I decided that fishing all the time is going to be boring for you guys, so I have worked out something to make it much less boring. In any case, I just want to clear off a bunch of quests, so probably this episode is going to be just reading off all the fishing quests, and prior to this, well, in between the previous bit and this bit that just cut in, I have went to, you know, get all the necessary fish I need for the quests in advance. So let us just move all this in here, and we should be good to go. As you can see, bunch of fishing things. Yeah. So let's continue this. Tactics. 10 fish of Moonfu is for tactics. Yep, 10 for you. Hand it over. Yes, Fish Bringer has brought lovely fish from Moonsea. Ah, first eye catch of lovely fish is still fresh in the brain case of Tactics. Tactics has dreamings to taste lovely fish. Friendly friend Fish Bringer has made true Tactics big dreams. Boy, the English on this. Glory tales of Chuchurun are no silly babble. Fishbringer is Fishbringer of fairy legends. Tactics make sure every gobby knows Fishbringer fairy legend. Okay, that is this done, and we'll turn it in here. Whew. FPS is a little nuts in this area. Congratulations, Fishbringer. Fame with fast trading goblins is liable to bring you fortune. Although you might want to find a less pungent title, so as not to drive away other prospective patrons. But what's in the title? That which we call a Fishbringer by any other name would smell just as sweet. Okay. I honestly don't care any of this equipment because I got them long ago. Okay, let's continue on. Fish out of water. Your goblin friendly friend was looking for you earlier. He was hoping you make his fishiest fantasy come true. He recalled a dish that tickled his fancy some years ago and now needs you to procure the necessary fish for him. This desert catfish, as it is apparently called, is indigenous too, and this is the truly mind-boggling part, the desert of all places. Tactics spoke of a trapper named Ugoromuli, who fished out one of the Forgotten Springs, who fished one out of the Forgotten Springs in the southern reaches of Tenelan. If you want that catfish, you best go and speak with her. Okay. I gotta go to Forgotten Springs. Oh boy. I just fished there. Arrgh. Oh well. Wait a minute. Did I screw up? I did. I have teleported here directly. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's see, where's the person I need to speak to? Oh, there it is. Okay. Friend of Toctics, you say? Sure, don't fish my fair share of desert catfish. Never eat them though. Know that much. Only ever use them as sandworm bait. Thought of eating desert catfish hasn't occurred to me until the goblin devoured it before my eyes. Still wouldn't touch them myself. Different fish for different folks, they say. No problem fishing them out though. Can even tell you how it's done. Just comes down to the right bait in the right place. Nothing to it really. Easy as dropping a line with some sand leeches at the fishing hole east of Biogod Strike, near the Amaja's encampment. Not the same as sea fishing here in the dunes, mind you. Real test of your reel out there. The trick is to hold on when it flails. It only takes one to make the day's haul. Good hunting. And I got a... So as you can see, I already got it. So back to Limsa we go. F castle. No, sorry, mine got distracted for a little. And Toctics is here. Fish bringer bring tasty fresh catfish, fish cat in sandy lands for friendly friend Toctics. Yep, this is for you. Toctics is Thanksgiving to Fishbringer for lip-smacking fish cat. Fish cat no strings make for strengthful satchel strengths. Toctics trade tongue flaps with Langsat for fancy cooking of fish cat in Bismarck. Langsat only fancy cooks after shop block because of strengthful fish cat odor. Fishbringer makes Toctics one happy gobby. Boy, goblin speak is nuts. Where's complete? Then next one, fishing in the rain. Just the fisher I was hoping to see. Uncanny timing as always. The celebrity you achieve have resulted in more obscure requests than I know what to do with. Your dune fishing escapades in particular have raised eyebrows. The truly eccentric requests I've seen fit to turn away. But who can say no to the Bruguer Consortium? I for one cannot, but perhaps you have something else to say when you speak with Sibyl. She's waiting for you outside the guild. Sibyl. I really do not like the cities. It is not friendly on my FPS for some reason. As you can see, the further away from crowd I go, the better it is. There's not behind these covered doors for a worldly type like you, Garth. We are the dutiful sisters of the Elderwise, all pure and saintly. Like, now bugger off. Hang on, I thought you were just some simple errand lad. Now that I've had a proper look, you're dragon, aren't ya? Heh, I knew it. We like to snooch all the rising talent. And from what I hear, your heads and shoulders above the rest. If you can handle yourself half as well as they say, you might as well be of use to us. Ah, forget all that, Sisters of the Elderwise Bollocks. That was just a bit of fun to fob off the curious cows. We are a guild of rogues, mate, and it's mainly our marks that does the praying. Me and my work in the shadows of Limsa are taking a keen edge to the rooks and crackles, what earn themselves a milling. We don't tout for members, but every now and again, we might offer a promising young cove a place in the ranks. If you're interested in joining us, tip us your theatre and we'll put a hilt in each one, just like the gods intended. What do you say? Fancy learning a new trade? I made a mistake, this is not the right one. I'll be back for that in the future though. I'll probably take one stream one day just to go around collecting all the jobs I can. Yeah, what am I saying? Sibyl. I forgot the name somehow. Silly me. Ah, Dragon, I take it. The legend said you were rugged, but failed to mention how delectable you are as well. I have no doubt that our time together will be advantageous to us both. To business then, I want you to bring me rain callers from Gridania's jadeite flood. However, there's a catch to this catch. The rain callers spend most of their time lying dormant on the bed of the water, active only when the rains come. Keep an eye to the skies, you'll need the fish to be aroused, so that they will bite at the bait. Stem borers are the most effective, or so I am told. As to why we want them, well, the fish are prized by wealthy Udans for possessing certain properties, as is the custom of the Brugger Consortium to fulfill unconventional needs and desires. 5 rain callers are all required to satisfy these aristocrats' needs. Okay. Got them. Bring us 5 rain callers and make it our worth, okay. I knew we were the right lad for the job. Who else could deliver such rare and virile specimens? This will suit the Udan's purposes quite well. The elder males have been led to believe that ingesting the rain callers will endow them with, let us say, vigor. No one knows whether it is true, and I don't personally care to find out. I only know that rich men will stop at nothing to recapture their former glory, and so this fish should fetch a fair price at market. Speaking of fetching, I'm quite impressed with your handiwork, Dragon. The consortium will be pleased. Of course, you're pleased more than just the consortium. I look forward to seeing more of you. Oh, good. Done. And then let's go on to the next one. Oh, so you haven't forgotten the old Fisherman's Guild. Good to see that all the prestige and glamour that accompanies fishing stardom hasn't gone to your head. It's a wonder your head hasn't popped. What with all the sardines and catfish fables inflating your legend to prodigious proportions. And to think, I knew you when you were still dragging anchovies out of the mud. Rest assured, wherever greatness you go on to achieve, you will always be the sorry scrap of kelp that floated into the guild one fateful day, as far as I'm concerned. Now go to Sibyl and see to her request. Didn't you notice her waiting for you outside? Ah, Dragon! The libidinous lords of Uda were terribly excited by the rain callers you reeled in, sending our profits soaring accordingly. And so I have come to lay yet another challenge before you. You have conquered the wave and dunes, but what of the clouds? Only you are heavenly enough to fish the cloud cutters that swim the low skies of Ishgard within the sea of clouds. I too doubted my ears upon hearing such a fish, but Cavalier's resolve was adamant and he will hear no protest. Besides, I've never been one to say no. Luckily for us, the Brugger Consortium has friends in high places, namely the highlands of Quietus. You'll want to seek out Firminant at White Brim Front. He will tell you all you need to know. Confident you will prevail in your conquest. I have rendered full payment to Sisipu in advance. You only need to bring her 5 cloud cutters to satisfy me. And that I have. Speak to White Brim Front. Oh boy. Is there another? Nope. I thought I could just teleport straight there. Unfortunately. Now the problem with Ishgard is that it's an area out of AAR, whichever that AAR means again. After something happened. Ah, hey, Fun 5. Yes, I remember you. It's been a while. I noticed you dropped a couple of comments on YouTube. Yep. So yeah, unfortunately this is like after the first base game, and at that point of time the maximum level was level 50, so I couldn't play beyond certain bits beyond level 50. So even though my fisher is now level 71, I couldn't go to areas to catch fish for the level 70 fishers, like level 50, level 55 onwards quests. Yep. Let's see, this way, gotta run this way. What's that? Wait, is there a crystal here? No? Oh, I could have just taken the Chocobo over. I forgot about that. I think I did unlock this one here before. Oh yeah, quite informative, right? There's quite a few others in that series. Sorry, those of you who can't see the chat. Fun5 said, I liked your Chinese culture, family and religion video. I watched it completely too. So we do these streams once a week on Chinese culture. In fact, the next one is tomorrow around the same time. I think we've done 3 or 4 so far. Where is that dun bird? Oh, there. Yeah, I actually stream on Twitch. In fact, I'm still on Twitch now. I'm actually streaming YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Figured that I might as well, you know, branch off and throw it up wherever I can. Where is this person? There. Greetings, traveler. Visitors from Limsa Lominsa are rare to these climes. I am told you seek to fish the magnificent cloud cutters that grace the sea of clouds. As squires, we practice catching our dinner, but the task is trying even for the most experienced among us. How one unaccustomed to the chore might hope to succeed where so many accomplished fishermen has failed is beyond me. But mine is not to stand in the way of foolhardy endeavors, the fish that floats upon inflating pockets of vapor, allowing them to ride currents of air. They are thus able to escape predators and take refuge in the clouds. Moreover, an aerial fish requires an aerial worm, in this case, hoverworms. Such is the extent of the knowledge I will confer unto you. I fear the remainder is a matter of experience and skill. I should wish you good luck, you will surely need it. And Fun5 has a question, how many hours do you game? Honestly, not too much nowadays, cause you know, this is just something I'm doing as a hobby. And I actually do translations most of the time, and for some studying for, well, my licensing exams. But yeah, so how many hours do I game? Okay, what I normally I game when I stream. No, I stream when I game. So, you know, it's like, of course there are certain things which I don't bother streaming as well. So, but I would say I stream, out of my game time, 2/3 is spent streaming. So you probably can figure out how much I play. And yep, I do enjoy MMORPGs and, well, RPG games in general. Story things that have a very strong story base. Okay, and let's turn this in. So you have to pluck 5 cloud cutters from the skies of Coetus. Are we certain these aren't birds? Wouldn't be surprised. The fabled cloud cutters, it turns out they weren't birds after all. Just like jellyfish, they jump, jerk and jolt to jiggle themselves up. Well, speaking of things that float around aimlessly, each guardian consider the cloud cutter a crest of class and character, and confer them to commemorate and congratulate countrymen who conduct a cut above the clouds, if you will. I wouldn't, but what use would it be to Carvelian? Local law alleged that a legendary elephant in Limsa Lominsa is actually an Ishgardian lord. I wonder what you'd do if it were Carvelian. I would do what I'm going to do anyway. Deliver the fish. Okay, good. And then I think I got one last one to go. Level 50, yep. Ooh, wow. Oh, this is actually better than what I have, I think. Now let's see. A 28 and 3. Okay. 3 and 28. 4. Perception 24. Plus 4 plus 3. 5. Gloves, those are gloves. 41. 42 and, oh no wait, Gashkins. What are Gashkins? Pants, right? So plus 3 plus 3. Perception 24. Plus 3 plus 4. Yeah, pens. Boots is what I'll be getting then. This is unbelievable, according to the HO adage. When the going gets tough, the tough go fishing. Unfortunately for us, the adage is of little use when the tough going happens to be a fishing ban. You haven't heard, have you? And Enza Southfrisin has closed all the docks and ports for fishing vessels on authority of Admiral Merrip. Some sorry sailors supposedly spotted a serpent at sea, so Southfrisin stated that for our safety, all services must cease. It's all so frustrating. Well, we may be a group of sedentary fishers, but we are not about to take this sitting down. First, we need to know what we're up against. The Bulgare Consortium maintains ties to the Maelstrom. Maybe Sibel may know something we do not. It is time to go fishing for information. Okay, and here's the last bit, talk to her. It is certainly a pleasure to see you again, though I wish it were under happier circumstance. The news came as a shock to us as well. Any Lominson who ever boarded a boat has heard the tale. Back when the world was not but a dry, lifeless rock, Lim Len created a giant serpent. From its massive maw, the creature spat forth water until the land was filled, but it would not stop. To prevent the world from being completely submerged, the navigator trapped the serpent in a floating island with the warning that if it were ever to be freed, the seas would rise until the world ended. This is from where the Socratic motto, "Till seas swallow all," comes. You can imagine the Admiral's surprise upon learning a sailor claims to actually have seen the serpent in question. While you and I may recognize it as a fairy tale aimed to scare children, the panic in the streets is real, so Slafferson hasn't any choice but to take drastic measures in order to maintain the peace. Regrettably, those drastic measures have dire consequences for both your guild and my consortium. And the Maelstrom is too occupied with ship inaugurations to conduct a proper inquiry. Meaning, our only hope is to take matters into our own firm and yet supple hands. It may be impossible to prove that the sea serpent does not exist, but perhaps the testimony of the eyewitness could be impunged. I believe you have met the sailor responsible for the sighting, the one known as Chuchurun. Aha! It's his fault! You! Chuchurun sees big fish at sea. Some say sea serpent. Chuchurun just want fish to fish. See, fishermen wawa lago about fishing fish in sea. Boy, I can imagine it being a misinterpretation. It wasn't a sea serpent. He actually was talking about something else. I've seen enough at sea to know when sailors are seeing things, and what Chuchurun saw was no sea serpent for sure. Missing your marks will make mountains out of molehills. Distance deceive and delude the minds of men at sea. My money says your serpent is a Maslaya Marlin, a fairly big fish, but by no means a monster. You can see them barreling back and forth along the north of Bloodshore, but with spite from the shore, some people will just shrug their shoulders. You need to make them meet that Marlin up close and personal. I'll admit, it's easier expressed than executed, and I never nabbed one. If you don't loosen up your line, they will rip your rod right out of your hands. But first, you need a bite. They won't waste their breath on worms from other waters. Maslaya Marlin demands mooching. More familiar to you as fish reeling, perhaps? And not just any mean act of mooching, but the daunting duty of dramatic double mooch. I reckon you're ready for it. Get a goby ball and haul in a harbour herring. Once you hitch your herring, offer it up to an ogre barracuda. Then bait that beast to make the Maslaya Marlin bite. Makes me want to sell it myself. But Safai would slay any guildmaster who slights him. Besides, I'm sure Sissy Pooh would sooner see you succeed at it. Okay. Gah! I can't believe we're reduced to this. Still, while Wawalago had never been right for running a guild, he's never been wrong about a fish. If he says our serpent is a Maslaya Marlin, that's what it is. Well, there you go. That's the Marlin. I can see how some might mistake it for a monster. Hopefully, Slafferson will see it the same. Come, Sibel arranged for us to speak with the Grand Storm Marshal. So many moons has it been. I can scarcely remember the last time I boarded a merchant ship for anything other than an inspection. Quite comfortable indeed upon the luxurious fleet of the Brigade Consortium, no doubt to put crooked mongers and traffickers at ease while making illicit deals at sea? Perish the thought. We would never dream of calling the Grand Storm Marshal to a vessel where such roguery took place. A shame. I'd imagine those sort of vessels were the most fun. I suppose we then best tend to business. Of course, sir. Allow me to introduce to you the Maslaya Marlin. It's a swordfish. Great, Limlayon's ghost. That blurry thing is massive. However, did you catch it? I suppose that doesn't matter. At any rate, it is your contention that this Marlin is our sea serpent? You can sing yourself to sleep with that silly sea serpent story, but it still won't hold water. I knew things were proceeding too smoothly. You always know just the wrong time to act the guildmaster, don't you? Never you mind. I've known Wawalago long enough not to mind his manners. Unlike his fish, I know when I'm being baited. Boy, you've been baiting and bullying us with your ban. Will you let up and lift it? A fine question. To lift the fishing ban or not to lift the fishing ban? What to do? On one hand, I could lift the ban, but on the other... Now who's the one baiting? Why not? Of course, there must be formalities we must observe, so I'm afraid the decoration will have to wait until the morrow. And the ban will get lifted, won't it? Unless you prefer it won't. By no means, it's just... I feared that simply bringing you a large fish might fail to serve as adequate evidence in overturning a former military promulgation. Well, I never really believed all this sea serpent silliness in the first place. It was more about putting Lominson's mind at ease than anything else, and the Marlin you brought me should accomplish just that. A few of our more paranoid conspiracy theories in the Maelstrom allege the serpents to be a part of elaborate Sanhagen plot, so this should make for a nice laugh at their expense as well. Okay, and to think all this started because someone spotted a large fish. And because fish tails are wont to grow in size, the large fish became serpent size and then ceased to be a fish altogether. It makes you wonder about what other overblown fantasies we all have been led to believe. It sounds like you were ready to lift the ban whenever we brought you whether we brought you the Marlin or not. If only it were that simple. A fine Grand Storm Marshal I would be if I went lifting bans willy-nilly without any evidence the problem has been solved. This Marlin is essential in assuaging the irrational fears of the public. Well then, I suppose Dragon's efforts weren't for naught after all. I only wonder how the fish tail grew out of proportion in the first place. I don't delight delving into details, but that might have been my doing. Why am I not surprised? When I mentioned to Chuchurun that the Maslaya Marlin was a monster, I meant it metaphorically, but mayhaps he misunderstood. I think it would be in the best interest of all involved if I don't hear any more of this story. The Maelstrom expresses its gratitude for your efforts in bringing this evidence to light. Your guild will be notified when the fishing ban is formally lifted. I bid you good day. Okay, good. And I think got one last one. Terrifying to think a little Exaggeration can get out of hand, particularly when you consider how often fishermen exaggerate. But it sounds like Slufferson knew something was fishy all along. Nevertheless, you saved our guild from destruction at the hands of an imaginary sea serpent. Funny how Numulika delivered you to our doorstep just when we needed you the most. I certainly can't consider you a guppy anymore, now that you reeled in a Marlin the guildmaster himself never quite reeled in. I say we name you the guildmaster, but then Wawalago would have nothing to dodge, and I'm not ready to let that fish off the hook so easily. But I suppose we could at least let him know he has a rival, and that might be your finest fishing accomplishment of all. Luring Wawalago back to work. Haha, okay. Now I wanted the boots here. Now do I have another quest? That concludes the Fisher quest for FF14, A Realm Reborn ARR, not AAR. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements. You need to complete the main scenario quest before the dawn. Once you've done so, the next Fisher quest will be available from Sisipu. Yep, that's the problem I have. So in any case, we're running a little overtime, so a quick shameless plug, check out all the links down in the description below, especially my novels, check them out. And finally, subscribe, like, ding the bell, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao!